Manager Koper, and thank you for having me at Hanover Tech Demo Days. I'm here to present on DetroitMetrics.org. I often describe myself as a cyber entrepreneur and a social entrepreneur. I live in Detroit. I moved there after I graduated college. And one of the things that particularly interests me is the intersection of the internet and how to apply the power of the internet to solve social problems and make the world better. In particular, Detroit's world famous for its social issues and crime or schools. And so I've spent some time thinking about that and working on that. And I thought that one of the problems is that the government is responsible for providing these public goods. And I think a lot of people, I see vagrants on the street and parks that are overgrown with grass. And there's a lot of resources. The city of Detroit government, I've made an org chart here, I've drawn a generalization of the org chart, is in fact has an organization with 12,000 employees and $3.1 billion budget. And so this represents, generally speaking, to the city of Detroit government. And like all, it's allocated with the police department and the fire department and health department, but as all, it's a certain amount of social structure. And I think this is where a lot of the errors come in, where people, the worker bees do all the work, like all organizations at the bottom of the org chart, and then people at the top have, there's a lot of inertia to not rock the boat, because there's just more compensation to get promoted into management and things like that. So to get away from that subjectivity, I've thought that I've gathered certain quality of life metrics and created DetroitMetrics.org. And this is a 3-tiered web application where a database stores things. There's a business logic layer in PHP, and then a lot of JavaScript on the front end. Uses Google Charts API to gather data, and I picked some important quality of life metrics and graph them in a dynamic control panel-like way to show, in fact, how leaders are doing with all these resources, show the outcomes of their decisions, and make them make better decisions, give them the data for citizens to see who they vote for, and give them data to do process re-engineering. So this, I've specifically tried to, I hacked Google's Charts API to show, again, kind of that people do make a difference in the subjectivity of it. This is a line graph hack to show who the mayor is. There's this tooltip here, who's in city council. And again, create the kind of control panel of what, the outcomes of decisions people are making. Detroit city budget bouncing around $3 billion a year, 3.1. While the state's GDP rose as the country's generally does, again, hard numbers and data. By doing this, this is Detroit's numbers after this years of declines, after years of this world famous decline. You've got the population on the left, about 770,000 people, the GDP of Detroit. I had trouble getting the state exactly, but I'll estimate it to be about $65 billion. But I'm going to show in the next chart of 4 places: Detroit, Michigan's GDP, about 10 million residents, GDP of about $400 billion, according to USDA. The United States, 311 million residents, a GDP of $15 trillion, and then the world has about 7 billion people in it, and a GDP of about $70 trillion. And once the elected leaders start making those numbers grow up for the city government, and the quality of life returns to the rest of the place, government makes about 30% of the economy, and the private sector, in fact, creates about the other 70% of the economy. And so some of this wealth comes into Detroit. More college students in Michigan move to Detroit when they graduate. Other retailers in the country build stores and start building stores in Detroit, whereas they've left it out. Maybe other immigrants in other parts of the world come into Detroit. So then you have poverty solved, you have a tax base increase, physical revitalization, and kind of an end to these social problems. That's Detroit metrics. Any questions? Yes.
What's your business model?
I kind of had a strategic decision to make when I was doing this, and I decided, I developed this on my own nickel. I programmed it on my own nickel and time, and am I this nice guy? I was trying to do something to make the city better out of goodwill. And this summer I did try to meet with the mayor's office. I approached them several times through emails and things. I wanted to show it to the mayor and have him get it. Yeah, this is my boss. This is what I deploy all these resources for. And but I was never able to really get that meeting and make that connection. So the code is written, and there are 19,000 municipalities in America. So I guess now I have decisions just kind of sit there and kind of give up, move on to something else, or maybe try and turn this into a business and get some of the other cities, maybe more rational, more meritocratic, more progressive cities to buy it as a business. But I didn't clearly set out to make it a business initially. Yes.
Did you focus on a particular problem at first? Did you say, okay, because you talked about decision making. I think what you're trying to do, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're trying to see the result of the decisions that are made and how financially it affected the network. Is that?
Yeah, I think a lot of city government operations kind of take place in the dark. You can go to city council meetings and there are certain kinds of public records that it's there generally, but in Ann Arbor might be a more meritocracy place. In Detroit, I think there's more kind of cronyism and favoritism and things like that. So, again, going back to that kind of org chart slide, I think, in all organizations, they just, you have a ton of resources. You can give out millions of dollars in contracts and give high-paying jobs to your friends, and so I don't think all these human resources and financial resources and time are optimally allocated, and this is to show the results. How many potholes did we pave? How many truants were caught? How many fires were put out, and then make those numbers go up, given all these resources.
If I could follow up, maybe in your presentation, maybe that you could focus on one particular area and show the parallelism of what you're trying to accomplish. Right here, it's a little bit challenging to see that. I think the heart's in the right place, and probably the data's there. It's difficult to come across. And so I think the people at the top, actually the people all throughout, need a little bit more spoon feeding, and that will probably help your story. So.
Is it primarily census data, or is this data that you've kind of gone through papers and things and picked up manually?
Good question. I think every organization should have a mission statement, of the private or nonprofit, about what they do, and then some metrics to show how well they're doing it. And I went to the Census Department. I went to, for my metrics, the Bureau of Economic Analysis for the crime stuff, the FBI's Uniform Crime Report. Ideally, these different departments in the city, fire department, education, health and human services, would have APIs. They would, as they did their work, they would collect this data and they would have their own API. This is a JavaScript that both hits my server and goes out to Google server and for the graphing program. And it would call those APIs to get those lower level, maybe some more granular, detailed statistics from the individual departments themselves.